Hey everyone, welcome in. I hope you guys are all doing well. I'm just going to hang here, wait till people get into the chat. Once they get into the chat, Raven reads for you. I'll give people a few minutes to get in. Let me burn some cedar. I like the cedar. See who might show up. Raven reads for you. Hi Lorraine, welcome in. Louise, nice to see you. Atson, welcome. Hey, I'm just going to make this an open read. I just thought, I'd come on today and just kind of open the door for you guys. See if you have questions, put them in there. We can just chit chat, hang out. Yeah, I'm happy to see you, Lorraine. Really nice to have you in here. But yeah, I thought I would do an open. I'm trying to figure out my platform, because I need this to work, because I'm a poor girl who is really struggling, and I'm willing to do the work. I'm just trying to figure out what is the best way to do this. So this morning I did a couple readings for Pisces and Aries. I did videos, and now here I am. And I thought I would come on live and just kind of keep it open, because it's always nice to chit chat with you guys. You guys really bring me a lot of support. Yes, abundance, right? Yeah, I'm trying to change my financial status, because it's really struggling. I came home from Mexico. Well, actually, I left to Mexico as I drove my car into my friend's house. I heard the transmission about to drop. So I spent a lot of money on a car and the transmission's about to drop. I'm really bummed about that. My other car, it's kicking, but that's also struggling. So yeah, I thought, well, I'm going to come on here and I'm just going to do the work and see if I can help you guys. And in return, I get some help myself. That's in you're planning on shifting to another country for a new start at life. Is that a good idea? Let's find out. I hope you guys are all doing well today. I feel better than I did yesterday. Yesterday was pretty crazy. After I got off my live, I laid down on the sofa and really passed out for the whole afternoon. I probably needed it. All right, let's see. Let's start our reading, huh? Let's get some cards on the table for you guys, because my most favorite thing in the world to do is read cards. So let's see what's going on for all of you guys. Welcome in, welcome in. Raven's going to read for you today. All right, let's see. Let's start with, am I saying it right? Atson, I don't know. I'm so bad with names, and we know this. All right, let's see. You're planning on shifting to another country. Let's find out if that's a good idea. Upright, if the card comes out upright, it's a yes. And if it's reversed, it's a no. Well, let's see what the cards have to say for you. Action as to whether or not moving to another country for a new start at life is what you need to do. Let's see what's going on. Welcome in, you guys. Priya, nice to see you. Always good to see Louise. Lorraine, nice to see you. All right, listen, I feel like it's a good idea. If you move, and you're single, you may actually meet someone. Or if you're moving with your person, action, I see something really, really good. The fact that it comes out with the Two of Cups, this is a good move. So you may be being called. So I like it. Let's go to, what's the new country you're moving to? Because I do. If you're single, look, I do see that, you could find love there. Should we pull another card, or should we leave it at that? Sometimes I think we need to leave well enough alone. So I'm going to leave well enough. Kangaroo land, that's where I want to go. Oh, maybe I'll see you over there one of these days. Anyway, it's a good move, so I think you will find good things there. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a go. I like that for you. D, welcome in. All right, so, if you're going to be, silly, we can't have silliness. No, can't do the sillies. So you're going to have to go. Sorry, D. You got to be nice around here. I don't take anything. I don't like unnice things. You know, if you're not nice, there's no place for you here. We want to get along, keep the vibe high. You know, I want to keep coming back here with a positive thought. Anyway, yeah, action. Good luck with that move. All right, what else we got? Priya. Wait a minute, let me see. Let's see, Priya. When will Swarman call me Granny? Granny. You want to be called Granny? I have a lot of people call me Granny. When will Swarm... I'm not really sure what kind of a question that is, but let's see what card comes out for that, all right? Let's see. Oh, the Two of Cups comes out for you as well. So I think in time, if you want to be called Granny, in time you will be called Granny. As to when, it's hard to say with the cards. What do the cards say for me? I hate to read for myself. Lorraine, you had a stroke and you've been scared, trying to keep positive. Lorraine, I think I mentioned this to you before. Get in the water. Do some water therapy. I mean, seriously, you'd be surprised. I saw a woman who was paralyzed, you know, face down to the toes, come to life by slowly getting in that water. But let's see, Lorraine. Let's see, Lorraine. All right, I'm pulling a card for you, Lorraine. Let's find out what's going on with you. Look at this, 8 of Wands. See, I feel like if you take action, you know, and you do the work, you're going to be okay, you know, because we also have the Star here of Hope. And a lot of times when we look at this card of the 8 of Wands, this is about setting things in motion. You know, you're really scared. What you went through is really, really scary because you're afraid that it might happen again and, you know, are you ever going to be well? But I do feel as if, stay positive, Lorraine, because I do feel like as if you do the work, it's going to pay off. You know, you may not notice it right away. You know, sometimes recovery comes in really excuse me, small increments. But I think, you know, there could be. There's nowhere to go here in Tennessee. Oh, I'm sure there's a pool or something that you could get into, Lorraine. Anyway, my apologies. You can tell I still have that cold. What do the cards say for me? I gotta tell you, I really have a hard time reading for me, Lorraine. Priya, when will... Well, Granny, we already looked at that. The name of the person. Well, I'm not a psychic, I'm a tarot reader, you know, so I can only see what the cards come through. Shahida, welcome in. How are you? Nice to see you. You can ask a question. Listen, I'm not asking for anything in return other than a share, a comment, a like. Yeah, I hope I feel better soon. I actually feel so much better than I did the last few days. All right, Shahida, what's your question? How are you, ma'am? I don't think that's a question for me. Yeah, I'm doing all the good things. I'm doing all the right things. You know, it's just cold. You know, you got to let it run its course. I am okay. I am really okay. I could use more money, but I am okay. But this is why I am on here. Anyway, you guys want to ask me some questions. You know, if you want to know a little bit more about me. I went on this trip to Mexico. Hi, Randall. How are you? Welcome in. If you got questions, I'm happy. I'm just chit-chatting. I'm just hanging out today. You know, I just think I just want to hang out and see who comes on and see how this goes. So, Randall, if you're new here, I don't believe I've seen your name before. Leave a question. I'll be happy to pull a card for you. Why are you crying suddenly? What's the reason? Let's see. Let's find out why. What's happened with you? You're changing. That's what's happening, Shahida. But let's see what the cards have to say. How old am I? I am old enough. Oh. All right, this is what I see for you, Shahida. All right, you're wondering why you're crying suddenly. We start out with the 10 of Pentacles reversed, And then I've got the Hanged Man and then the Two of Swords. So I feel like, you know, you need to really look at those things that really have a hold on you, Shahida. You know, because a lot of times we get ourselves in situations and then we don't know how to get out of them. And I'm just feeling like the fact that this comes up as the center card is like, you know, you really need to look when you give too much to situations. Because I feel like, you know, you might be in a situation where, you know, you give more than you can, you know, but you don't say no. Because when the Hanged Man comes up, we usually have sacrificed ourselves in some way. And I think once you make some decisions, Shahida, because here we have this Two of Swords, you're going to feel better because I think you know you need to make some decisions. And the decisions that sometimes we are faced with are not easy. But once you make a decision and you're very clear in how you want to move forward, especially if, you know, money has been an issue and you've been really struggling, and or you just recently had a loss and like, now I don't know how I'm going to move forward. Sit with the energy of the Hanged Man. He lives in the Tree of Life, you know, and a lot of times when I see this card, you know, I like to tell people, you know, pretend that you are in this hot air balloon, right? You get in that basket and it starts to lift you up very slowly. And then it just kind of hovers above and you can look down and see things from a new perspective. And once you start to see things a little differently, I think you will know the kind of decisions that you need to make. But I really feel like, you know, the tears that you are feeling right now could be about not knowing how to proceed forward. So yeah, hang in that tree of life and really take a look at your life and see where you can make changes and where you need to hang on. All right, Shahida, that's what I've got for you. Priya, Granny, you had not tell my question. Well, I told you, you're going to meet your person. When, I don't know. Oh my gosh, that's a big question, Louise Gilbert. Can I read for the global economy and when will it get better? Let's look at that because, I mean, this is a big question that we're all wondering about. So let's see, what can the cards tell me about the global economy and when will it get better? Lorraine, that's okay. I really want to build my my platform through likes and all of that. You know, I want it to build because I have the volume of people. You know, I don't want people taken out of their pockets. All right, let's see. We're looking on the global economy. What cards can you tell me about the global economy? 3 cards. First card, 7 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, 2, the Knight of Cups. Wow. You know, so I feel like with the 7 of Pentacles coming out first, you know, I think what's going to take is right now there's a lot of information that's being put out there that is not really true. Like we don't have all the information because the Knight of Cups comes up, all right? So I'm feeling like, you know, they're keeping things on the surface. My feeling is it's worse than it is, than what we're being told. And there's a lot of manipulation. So it's going to take something big to pull it down. I feel like there's some secrets that need to still come out. We don't have all the information we need in order to see what the global economy is going to look like. You know, because the orange head has plans, you know, and, you know, he's a wild card and really explosive. But, you know, honestly, I feel like the key message here within the global economy is to really bring family, community together. Now more than ever, we need to find our circles. We need to find our people. We need to find community. We need to help each other because I think this is going to go on for quite a while. You know, the fact that we have the 7 here and we have the Knight and the 10, you know, and then the bottom of the deck, we have the Magician reversed. I think it's going to be, you know, honestly, I think the next 4 years are going to be very, very explosive. And I really feel like this is going to go through, you know, we're looking at a good 20 years before we find peace again. But that's just my personal opinion on what's been going on. Lorraine, you've asked about your son Jordan's been doing. Could you please tell me how he's doing? Sure, Lorraine, let's check in on him, you know, because I remember he was struggling the last time. I mean, the economy is scary right now, and I think we're about to into some tough times. I'll tell you something that happened to me while I was down in Mexico. All right, so I went down to Mexico. I don't know if some of you know this or not. I have mentioned it, but I have been called to go down and, learn and, experience life through the eyes of the Huichol Indians of Mexico. So we were getting ready for ceremony, and just as we had all sat down and gathered in this circle, 3 comets went across the sky. I mean, it was just the most incredible thing. One comet was red, the next one was blue, and the last one looked a little green, but I mean, they just moved ever so slowly across the sky. And the comets, they really pretend to have, it's an omen, all right? And it usually is a sign of war. It usually also indicates that there's going to be a lot of struggle and turbulence within the world. And it also can include, the death of some big world leaders. Like today, God bless him, Pope Francis passed on yesterday. And when I woke up this morning, I thought there's 2 more. 2 more will go, that will really affect what is going on. But we are truly, truly heading into a time of war and peace. And it is up to us to choose which side do we want. Do we want to be on the side of war and be in that low vibration? Or do we want peace? And if we want peace, this is where we have to really connect with our community. This is where we have to find these circles where we can take care of each other, where we can lift each other up and, help each other when we're down. So yeah, the comets, if you look it up and you Google it, you can read more about it. Now, as much as a comet signifies, war and struggles and things of that nature, it's also a very divine energy that brings great change. And I really feel like, all of this stuff is going on because we need this change. And the only way to bring change is to really bring up all of this ugly stuff. So unfortunately, it's going to be a rough ride moving forward, and yeah, we have to choose love, Louise. We have to stay on the positive. So yeah, that's how I started my ceremony down in Mexico. And then, throughout the night, I did see a lot of death. I did see a lot of good as well, that was going to come out. But we have to prepare for what is to come. And we have to go with the sense of discernment. The issues of racism are really at the forefront right now. People, struggling for work, the division that's going on in the United States right now. These things that are coming up, the AI, do we believe what we see and hear? Do we not? What's propaganda? What isn't propaganda? So this is where we have to be very, very careful of what we play into. So I keep my circle small. The people that I love and I hang out with, it's a very small circle. I'm not looking to expand it. I feel like my work here on YouTube is to also help the collective kind of stay grounded through some of the things that are going on. But yeah, I really believe we have to stay on that vibration of, positivity. And even when things are hard and difficult, we have to find the light. Always look for the light because it's always there. Yeah, see, this is my thought. I wanted to build community here, where, if you're troubled, I'm here to help the best I can. And then we can help each other because you guys have so much wisdom. There's so much that that I don't know. And together we can share good things. So yeah, I want to build a really good community here that way. Yeah, so thanks for being a part of my community. Yeah. Yeah, it was really profound and really intense. Because when we were going down, listen, I can tell you the energy is really real. And I'll talk a little bit about this trip that I was on. We drove down. We crossed the border. The day that we crossed the border, I guess some cartel leader was let out of jail. And the threat of drones being hit as a result of him being let out was very present in Mexico. And that day, the federales were thick in force. And I mean, we were stopped 9 times going from the top of Mexico. I was headed down to Nayarit, you know, and all the way down there, you know, it was just really hard and really stressful. What was really interesting, though, is that when we stopped, I mean, it got to the point where I was a little desensitized after the first couple of times. And I would jump out of the car and I would just be very happy and very friendly. And I would let them look at whatever it is they wanted to look at. And, you know, and the more open I was, you know, it seemed like the easier it was to hang out with these federales for the half hour that we were stuck with them. And also, you know, we were going down, and my mom, you know, she's a curandera, and, you know, my good brother, he's a curandero, you know, so we were talking to the federales more about that and kind of distracting them from what they were supposed to be doing. But, you know, again, that is just an example of how we took a really stressful situation, and we did the best we could with it, and we opened the doors and we were friendly. And by the end of the time we were being checked out, we all left waving to each other and, you know, really pretty happy. So, yeah, the power of positivity really helped us get through Mexico. It was pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy. Anyway, so that's a little bit of that trip. Hi, John Peter. Welcome back. Let's see. John Peter, police job, passable, yes or no? All right, I'm just going to pull a yes or no question on that, John Peter, because I don't really know what you're asking. Let's see. All right, grateful, thankful for John Peter. He is asking for a yes or no. If it comes up upright, it's yes, and it comes up reversed, it is no. So John Peter, let's see. We are looking about this job. Is it a yes or is it a no? Curious minds want to know. Let's see what the card's coming out. And it is a yes. And, you know, with this card, it says it's the 4 of Pentacles. So I feel like, you know, this is something you might be saving towards, or once you get involved with it, there is this need for you to just be very, very protective, if that makes any sense, John Peter. You know, but I do feel like, you know, it's definitely a yes for you. I like it. Will I get a government job this year? Well, that card fell out. I got a no, but that just fell out. Let me shuffle it again for you, all right? Gulafsha. Good luck with that, John Peter. You know, but again, that 4 of Pentacles says, you know, keep it close. Don't open up too much. If you do get a yes and you do get the job, just keep it close and quiet. All right. We're looking to see whether a government job is going to happen for the Gulfsha. Gulfsha? I don't know. Let's see. All right. Will a government job happen this year for you? You know, and again, I got another no. And I'm also feeling that the fact that they came up as the 7 of Cups, you know, you need to look, spread out a little bit, you know, open up that net, you know, if you're looking for a job, and don't be so honed in on that government job, because I don't see that happening. And twice that came out. You got 1111. That's a great angel number. That's a new beginning, a new portal. 111 is a great number to have, because I feel as if you are ready. And it also kind of tells me that you are on the right track. You know, so keep going, John Peter. You're doing exactly what you need to be doing. I wish you a lot of luck with that. And thank you for coming back, John Peter. It's really nice to see you come in. Who else is out there? Anybody else out there? I only have a few people. There's just 7 of you in the chat. Oh, Jordan. Oh, sorry, Lorraine. Totally blew that one out the door. Thanks for reminding me. All right, Lorraine. Very important question here. We need to know about Jordan. We're checking in on Jordan. What's going on with Jordan? Grateful, thankful for the messages that come through. Lorraine's son, Jordan, how is he doing right now? Grateful, thankful. We're checking in. Ooh, I feel like he might have gotten an opportunity. All right, I got chills on that one. No apologies, Lorraine. Thanks for the reminder. All right, let's see. Listen, here you are, coming out as the Queen of Pentacles. Really worried. You know, I feel like You know, I saw the Ace of Pentacles. I feel as if, you know, he has found a situation that he may be a little bit unsettled about. But I feel like, you know, he's coming close to the end of whatever it is he's going through. Because we do have the Death card here as a final outcome. And, you know, we have this Nine of Pentacles. So the fact that he's been feeling so unstable, I think it's starting to really get to him. And I do feel as if, you know, he may have hooked up with someone, I have to say. I feel like he may have met someone. We have a Queen of Cups to the Ace of Cups here. That he may not be the best match for him, all right? But I think there's a codependent connection he has with someone right now that is carrying him. I don't think it's going to last very long. You know, because I think he's feeling this need to find a little bit more ground. But he has connected with someone, Lorraine. And, you know, for now, it's keeping him stable. You know, whether it's the best thing for him or not, maybe not. But, you know, the fact that it's brought him a little bit of stability, you know, is good. But I feel like she is somebody who, she's not a good match for him. But, you know, this is where he's at. It could be somebody that he's been with before, because I do see the Five of Cups coming up. But he'll be okay. Oh, that awkwardness. I know that one, Louise. I hope that helped, Lorraine. You know, he's not alone. If anything, the one thing you might want to know is that I really feel like he's not alone. And with that ace that I saw, Lorraine, I just have to tell you, I feel like he has an opportunity. If he takes it, it's great. If he doesn't, you know, because he's stuck on this girl, that's where he could get hung up. But we'll check back on him next week. All right, Lorraine? Promise me you'll come back and next week we kind of see what's going on. Because we're in a big time period of change right now. Hi, Katie. Welcome. Hey, listen, I want to see what's going on with Louise because sometimes she struggles to present and speak. Why is that? Is a lack of confidence? Is that what it is, Louise? Let's see. Why do you struggle? Three of Pentacles. Yeah, see, I feel as if you worry about how you appear to others. Let that go, all right? Because we also have this Page of Wands. You're just so afraid of how people perceive you. You know, if you can let go of how others see you and what you're doing and just focus on whatever the talk is, you're going to be okay. And you really got to let go of how people, because here, you know, you're upside down and here you're presenting with confidence. And with this Page of Wands, you know, if we look, you know, see these birds, you know, it's like wondering what they say about me. Don't worry about what they say about you. What matters is the content. What matters is what you are talking about. All right. So, you know, wear your power suit, whatever it is that makes you feel comfortable. You know, like if you always show up in high heels and you're more comfortable in flats, then don't wear high heels. Go in flats. Be comfortable going in. Because if you're comfortable, the people you are talking to will also be comfortable. All right. I hope that helped, Louise. Yeah, me too, Lorraine. But let's check in on him next week. Hi, Katie. How are you? Oh, look. How are you? And I pulled the Sun card. I hope you're doing really, really good because the Sun card is a really bright energy. Yeah. Listen, I struggle with that too. Do you know how long it's taken me to have the courage to hit that live button to come on here? I can't even begin to tell you. It's been years, knowing that if I want to succeed on YouTube, this is what I have to do, is to come on live. And the fear I had of like being picked on, you know, like all my teeth, like I got big, bright white teeth. And the reason why I have them is because all of my other teeth, they're all crowns. Like, you know, I had really bad teeth, you know. But, you know, I've gotten picked on for it. I get picked on for my hair. I get picked on for what I've got on, you know. And I had to get past all of that, you know. This is who I am, period, you know. And, you know, take it or leave it. So I know that feeling of awkwardness. But yeah, it's taken a long time. Listen, Katie, I pulled the sun card just as I was asking, how are you? And the sun card flipped out, So, that card also kind of tells me that by summertime, specifically August, Katie, you're going to be sitting really, really good. If you have been wondering whether or not you can work from home, this sun card actually, says, yeah, if you want to start something and work from home, maybe a side hustle, you probably have some real success with that. Yeah. Well, thanks. Thanks for the brightness of my energy. Do you guys want to meet Huggy? Huggy, come here. Come on up. Come on up. Say hi to everybody. This is my dog, Huggy. He's a good boy. He's a good boy, but he never knows what he wants. Anyway, meet Huggy. Mijo, he's hiding under the table. Do you want to get down? You want to go outside? Is that what it is? Let me let him out, and I'll be right back. All right, anybody new come in? Yeah, he's my boy. I got him last year for someone, and he can't take care of him. So Huggy's been with me since about February. I sure do love that dog. That makes sense to you? Yeah. But if you got to start now, Katie, do you know what I mean? Because whenever we start these things, if you start now, by summertime, I think you will be finding you got some good work, you're happy, you can do what you want. It's nice to have that kind of freedom, and I saw that for you. JL, welcome in. You're looking for a new job. Do I see anything out there for you this year? Well, let's see. JL. Let's take a look. Inquiring minds want to know, JL. I'm curious. You're looking for a new job. Let's see if we see anything out there for you this year. Look what I see here, the Magician. I do see something good. All right, manifestation is definitely in the air around you, JL. So let's see. Let's see. Something, you have to bring something to an end first, all right? Because here we have this death card. If you're hanging on to something by a thread, all right, I feel as if, you're reaching that point where, quite possibly you might want to branch out and do something on your own. The Three of Pentacles, a lot of times, is about working in collaboration with others. And this one has come upside down. So I'm wondering whether or not you might want to consider doing something on your own. The problem is, the in-between. All right, when we have to leave one job and start another. I see a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, and a lack of confidence too, with you. Like, you've got to believe in what it is that you are doing. But whatever it is you are hanging on to, that wants to end. All right, so if you've been really struggling, I see you wanting to have, something kind of, rebuilt or revived or reborn kind of thing. And I think really you've got to let it go. Sometimes we end up hanging on to things, situations, jobs, because we're so afraid of the unknown. But I feel like your unknown will give you some of the satisfaction that you want. Yeah, again, it's wanting you to open up a little bit and, pull yourself out of a position where you felt like you haven't had enough. But it's going to take you to have that confidence to do it. You have to believe that this next step is the one that's going to be what it is that fixes things. Because right now I see that, on the outside you act like everything is okay, but inside it's not so okay. But if you want to come out of this place of not having enough, not having what you need, especially in a job, I'm feeling like you need to, truly step into what you can do. There's something you can do specifically. And I think that is what you need to kind of hone in on. And not be afraid of endings, all right? Because when the death card comes up reversed, we want things to transform. We want to fix whatever it is. But a death card sometimes says, some things we need to let go and move on from, in order for us to move on. And for you, I really feel like, there's a little bit of fear, And like, oh my gosh, if I quit that job and start doing it. And the thing is, don't quit one for another. You know, hang on to what you got and start working towards the other. It takes work, it takes effort, but you can do it. And with that, I feel like you can find a new way. Allie, it's nice to see you. Allie, my old friend Allie. It's nice to see you, Allie. Really, really. I've been coming on here more and more, trying to build my platform here, and I'm just opening up, you know, just talking. Talking about talking. But let's see. I want to pull a card for you, my dear friend Allie. So nice to see you. I'm doing okay. I've got a cold, but outside of a cold, I'm doing okay. Doesn't help to complain, so yeah, I'm okay. All right, Allie. Let's see. Allie, I want a card for Allie. One card pull about her health. May you find good health, Allie. Uh-oh. I feel like you got to make some decisions. All right? Especially when it comes to your health. You can't do it all. All right? So we'll start there. All right, Allie, here comes your card. Ready? Yeah, 3 of Wands to the Ace of Cups to the Knight of Cups. So, you know, I think you have to be a little bit more positive. You know, when we have the 3 of Wands coming in, all right, we're talking about your health, all right? You have to make some changes, and we saw that with the 2 of Pentacles. You can't do everything. And sometimes we have to not, how can I say this? Sometimes, Allie, we have to give up what it is that we really want in order for us to take care of ourselves, because your health right now is what matters. When I see the Ace of Cups, this means that, you know, it's reversed. You need to fill your cup up. You need to do what you need to do to take care of yourself. You need to do what you need to do that's going to feed you love, what's going to feed you the things that are going to make you feel good. And right now, I feel like you're in a situation that is not feeding you very well, and it's not very positive, and this is what needs to change. The good news for you, Allie, is that we have this Knight of Pentacles. So I feel like, you know, you will be directed, maybe even guided to make the right decisions that you have to do. This could be somebody external who might put that little seed in your ear and says, hey, Allie, you know, have you ever thought of, you know, or I invite you to maybe think about something like that. But I do feel like you will move more towards a more positive energy. And, you know, this person might be a really great support for you in helping you along with your health. But I'm really concerned at the fact that, you know, I don't see you doing everything you can to take care of yourself. Don't be afraid, Allie, to be selfish, all right? When we have to take care of ourselves, this means you cannot do certain things. You have to take care of yourself first. And this is what I really feel you need to do. And, you know, the card is now turned around. I think you'll come out just fine. But again, it's the decisions that hold you up, all right? Trust your intuition and trust the guidance that comes to you, whether it's through internal, you know, intuition or external people, you know, kind of whispering in your ear, you know, maybe you might want to consider, or maybe you need to think about, because I keep feeling like there is like support on the outside for you to get better for your health. So that's what I've got for you, Allie. And, you know, many blessings of good health for you. Let me burn a little cedar for you. Cedar brings comfort. Cedar brings, you know, help in making big decisions. This is a very kind smudge, you know. So for you, Allie, special. God bless you. All right. All right, let's see. Self-care. Thanks, Lorraine. I will. Christine Williams, you're new here. Welcome in, Christine. It's nice to see you. I feel like it's very important that I acknowledge everybody who comes through. You can smell the cedar. Yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. In the traditions that I've grown up into, you know, cedar is our main smudge. I don't use sage. You know, sage, we use sage to brush off and clean ourselves off. I also use just a stick, you know, like if you're feeling bad, and you're walking around and, you know, maybe you just had a hard day and you went for a walk. Don't be afraid to pick up a stick and just take that stick and brush everything that's not good off of you. And then give the stick back to the earth and it'll take whatever is not good. You know, so yeah, a little bit of some of the things that I do. Hi, Therese. Yeah, but you know, whatever works. I mean, I used to work in a rock and mineral shop, and people would come in and they wanted, you know, the magical rock and this and that. And you know, the truth is, a can of sardines will work if you believe in it. You know, so, you know, these are just some of the teachings that I have that I do. You know, when I'm not feeling good, I'm not afraid to, you know, rub my hands in the sagebrush, you know, and just smell that beautiful scent of the sage and burn cedar. I burn cedar all the time. Anyway, it's just good to get in these practices, you know, because if we want to be of a spiritual mind, it's a devotion, you know, every day we need to acknowledge, you know, and be grateful for the fact that we live another day. We get up and we can, you know, have an opportunity to change, you know, and to be a better person. Because I think this is what we're here to be, you know, is to learn how to be good people upon this earth and how to live with each other. Christine, do you want me to pull a card for you? You're new. Welcome in, Therese. It grounds you as well. That's right. You know, so whatever it is that you choose to use, whether it's the sage, I mean, that white sage that comes out of California is really lovely. And people love to use that. Santo Palo, I have some right here. I love the Santo Palo, you know, but whatever works in the moment. The other thing that I like to burn is sweetgrass, because sweetness, you know, really helps us in life, you know. And as I grow older, I really realize that I want to grow old in sweetness. I don't want to be a grumpy old lady, you know. I want to be a sweet old lady. So it's a practice, you know. We have to practice being kind sometimes. Anyway. All right, Christine. Give me a question. I'm happy to pull a card for you. Therese, same thing. Welcome in. Yeah, if you guys want to ask any more questions, you know. I mean, I have walked a healing road for many, many years. Even that is a big story. I mean, I can tell you that if you want to hear that, you know. I don't know if I just sometimes I feel funny talking about myself, but I really do have an incredible journey. Many, many years ago, when I was in my early 30s, I was kidnapped and I was raped by a man who had AIDS. So the whole ordeal lasted about 6 weeks, until I managed to get away. And that's its own story within it. But I did get away from this guy, you know, but then I had to live with the aftermath of, you know, what he had done to me. And in so doing, I ended up going up to Michigan where I met this little old Ojibwe man. And he was really an incredible person. I mean, he was probably about 4'11". I mean, he was a short little guy and he had really long braids and they were like black and silver. He was just this beautiful man. But when I walked up to him, he was really... I mean, he was so kind, and he says, "I've been waiting for you." And I said, "Oh, you've been waiting for me?" I mean, the total skeptic and freaked out after what just happened to me. He said, "Yeah, they told me you were coming." And I said, "They? Who are they?" And he's like, "They." And he looked up, and I was like, "They told you." And he says, "Look, that fire knows you and really recognizes you." And that's where I got my Indian name, which is Ikwe, which means fire woman. But he gave me my Indian name, and after we did the ceremony, he called me aside and I just sat there and I listened to this man recount the story that I had just gone through. So I knew he was real. And I think I needed to know that he was real. And I spent the next few months, you know, pretty much 24 hours a day with this man. You know, he taught me as much as he could. I always tell people, I said, he gave me the ABCs of the Red Road. And that's how I ended up with the Native American community. And to this day, I am still a very, very much a part of the Native American ceremonies around here where I live. And, you know, I am known, and, you know, now they ask me to do prayers, and, you know, I'm a big part of this community that way. Anyway, it was quite a spiritual journey, but that's how I ended up getting on a healing road and being on a spiritual journey and meeting incredible people, and, you know, sitting up in ceremonies that I could never explain some of the things that I have seen that have happened in some of these things, but I have seen miracles, and I am a miracle that I am here. So yeah, I believe in miracles. I believe in positivity and all that we do. Christine, you want to know what your purpose is? Yeah, Firewoman, Shkole Ikwe. All right, first I'll pull a card for Christine, and then I'll turn to you. All right, Therese? All right, let's see if we can hone in on your purpose, Christine. When's your birthday? Can I ask? We are looking for the purpose. Christine Williams would love to know what her purpose is here on this earth. What's your purpose, Christine? December 22nd. I like that. Huh. I have to tell you, Christine, the first thing that's coming up, because I see there's this energy around, you know, we got the Lovers reversed, I got the Page of Cups reversed, I got the Page of Wands. You know, you need to do what you want to do. I feel like, you know, there's this Emperor reversed here, you know, and I just feel as if, you know, you don't listen to other people. All right. Yeah, I'll tell you a little story about myself. Everybody always wanted me to be a teacher, and I didn't want to be a teacher. And then I became a teacher, and sure enough, I didn't want to be a teacher. You know, everybody told me to be a teacher. And I feel a little bit of that for you, you know, and what I'm sensing with you is that you need to really, you know, hone in on what it is that really makes you feel good. And I feel like you're going to hear something, all right, in your daily travels that's going to resonate, all right? And what you hear, all right, maybe you hear somebody talking about something, all right? Because we're in the energy of the wands, it's something very passionate and very near and dear to your heart. All right, so you're going to be triggered, and I feel like in the fall, believe it or not, and it's going to set you in motion to do the purpose that you were put here on this earth. It's a very, very positive energy, and I feel like this is how you are going to be like, you know what, that's what I want to do. Now, what exactly it is that you are going to do, I think it's going to be in secret. You're not going to tell anybody right away. It could have to do with you building a business for others, all right? Because I have the King of Wands energy, and this is very creative, very entrepreneurial. It's one where, you know, you present yourself and people are going to want to be like you, all right, Christine? So what I'm sensing is that by the fall, and again, fall is very important for you. You are going to hear something that's going to set you in motion, and I see you building something very big. You know, like it could be a workshop, it could be something where people are going to want to be involved with whatever it is that you are doing. What it is specifically, I don't know. But yeah, I really see that you are going to bring something into creation. So I do see you building something, some kind of a business platform that would really help others. A very nurturing kind of energy, because I've got the Empress here. All right. And I feel like this is something very nurturing. So, you know, whatever you do, it will help people. And it'll be something that you really want to do. So I hope that helps, Christine. I know you probably wanted something really, really specific, but this is the best I got. But December 22nd, that's nice. You're right on the cusp of Sagittarius and Capricorn, so you probably can swing. See, the Capricorn energy is that entrepreneurial thing, But that Sagittarius, man, that's that spirit that brings a lot of knowledge and wisdom. You know, so I do see you building something that has to do with something that you are very passionate about and you know a lot about. All right, Therese. Deo, welcome in. Therese, we got to find out a card for your spiritual journey. All right, Therese. Let's see what's going on in the world of your spirit. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Therese Gray. She'd like a little guidance for her spiritual journey. All right, I got a really weird message for you. All right, one of the things that you have to be okay with, Therese, is going against the grain. All right, because I feel in your spiritual journey, you may have to take like a hard right or a hard left, and people, you know, may not go along with the direction of your journey. But remember, you have 2 feet, and it's your walk that you're walking. So I did pick that up, but let's see what card specifically is coming through for you, Therese Gray. Oh, look, I see you in a position where, you know, people will want to be, you know, advice. I mean, people see you as having wisdom. I like the 6 of Pentacles because I think you are a person on your journey where you can help others. You know, whether this is through, you know, helping them find resources or guiding them towards what is best for them. I see you in a position where people will want to know your advice. So you're a wise person, Therese. So, you know, take that and really run with it. The 6 of Pentacles is really about finding a balance of give and take. And I think, you know, you can help people find that balance within their own lives. But I definitely see you as somebody where people want to come to you and give advice. I don't know if you're involved in counseling work or something of that nature. You would do very well with that. I'm going to pull one more card. Yeah, that's where your strength is. I feel as if, you know, you also have the ability to help calm people down, like in crisis. Like, you know, a crisis counselor comes to mind, some kind of a counselor like that. I think that is one of those things that, you know, you will find strength, because I do see that you can bring a sense of calm to chaos. Beautiful gift that you have, Therese. You know, that's a beautiful gift to have. Yeah, my story, it's as traumatic as it is, it built me into who I am, you know, because, you know, when you go through something, you know, as traumatic as being kidnapped and, you know, held hostage and being abused and things of that nature, you know, it really changes your perspective when you see that happening to someone else. You know, it's really, you know, our experiences, the bad ones, you know, really, if we can turn them around into the positive, really is a gift. And I think that's what we have to learn. We have to learn how to take some of the bad things that have happened to us and see the light. I'm always talking about, there's always the light. The light is always present. It's about whether or not we choose to like hang on to that tiny little flicker and then make it grow. All right, let's see, Deo, because you came in, happy to help you out. Let's find out about your music career. I want to say I recall pulling a card for you in the past. Always the light, Allie, always the light. Because I have to tell you, before that all happened, I was a very different person, you know. And these experiences, you know, almost happened to kind of like put me in my place. Well, let's see, Deo, let's find out about your music career. We want good things for your music career. All right, these 2 cards wanted to come out. Listen, stay really, really hopeful. okay? Because the star card, this is a bright card. This is about really hanging on to that dream and knowing that it's going to come true. Here is where you might get hung up, Deo, all right? Be more discerning about like maybe the music or the gigs that you are presented with, because I feel like, you know, if you are really clear, you know, in the direction you want to go in with your music, that's where you're going to find success. But if you get hung up on, well, you know, I could do this and this and this and this and this and this and this, there's no focus. And I feel like this Two of Swords wants you to focus and make these clear decisions on how you want to move forward. But I definitely see that this career for your music, it's definitely got potential. So we all want you to succeed, and we all want to listen to your music, Deo. So yeah, help us out with that, you know, and if there's a way that, you know, we can listen to it, and, you know, because networking works. It really does. But I definitely see good things for you in your music career. All right, just be careful of what, you know, if it sounds too good to be true, it is, Dale. You know what I mean? It's better to start on the low rung and move yourself up that way than, you know, get to the top and you missed everything getting there, you know, and now you're just going to fall because you got no support. You make spiritual music in Spanish? Oh my God, that must be amazing. Just amazing. Gerline, welcome in. Nice to see you. How are you? You want a general reading? Let's do a general reading for Gerline. She's one of my faithfuls. I've seen you in here before, so I'm really happy to have you back, Gerline. Welcome in. I want all you guys to know that you're all very special to me because I remember your names and I see you, and, you know, something always kind of triggers in like, oh, you've read for them before. Anyway, Daya, good luck with your music because I see good things. All right, Gerline, let's check out a general reading for you. General reading for Gerline. What's going on with Gerline? Grateful, thankful for the messages that come through for Gerline. See, isn't this fun? It's nice to just hang. See, I would have been just sitting around, you know, looking at all the work that I should be doing and not doing. This is definitely a lot more fun. All right, Gerline, let's find out what's going on for you, Gerline. Gerline, I see good things for you. All right, we start out with the Three of Cups. All right, so when it comes to people that you hang out with, I think, you know, good company is around you. I like that. And especially if you're feeling a little down and out. You know, you have the Eight of Pentacles coming in reverse, you know, so maybe there's a little struggle to save money or to have a little bit more money. I think you are involved in a circle of people that will support you no matter what happens to you. So I like that energy for you, Gerline. Now, the one thing that I'm concerned about is we do have this Tower energy. So, you know, maybe around work, there could be, you're just kind of like wondering when something's going to shift with your work. A lot of times when the Tower comes in reverse, you know, we're avoiding what we need to face. But I just think that things are going to start to move really fast for you. But, you know, you've got to let your guard down a little bit, all right? Because we've got this Eight of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Once you set something in motion, and look, if there is something that you really want to get off the ground and you don't have the money for, and you've not wanted to kind of see whether or not you could reach out and get a little bit of money, a little bit of help, I feel like if you were to get some support from your family to set something in motion or your friends, I think it would turn out really, really good because I see help is on the way. Support is on the way. But you gotta drop your guard a little bit. The magic is outside of this wall that you might have put around you. So let your guard down a little bit, let people in, and I think you will start to see that things start to really move positively in your life, Gerline. So that's what I've got for you. Spotify, are you all right? I've got Spotify and YouTube and all of that. So if I type in Dayo in my Spotify, you'll come up because I'm gonna look for you when I get off of here. It's always nice to have some new music. Anyway, I hope that helped all you guys. I can stay on here, or I'm ready to pop off here, because it seems like we've kind of exhausted things for the day. But it's been really, really fun, you guys, and I wish you a lot of love and a lot of light. Always look for the light. And I will see you all here. I'll come back in maybe tomorrow. All right, now we all have to go check out Deyo, Deyo, on Spotify. And let's just hear what his music looks like. Deyo, ... with the ... All right, so I sure appreciate each and every one of you for coming in. I'll pop back on here again tomorrow. Wishing you lots of good health, Allie. Don't worry about being selfish and taking care of yourself. That's exactly what you need to do. And much love to all of you. All right, so until tomorrow, God willing, I'll be back. All right. In the meantime, have a really, really great day or evening. Until then.